Hey guys, it's Miss De Los Reyes. Today we're learning about evaluating logarithms. So how do we evaluate logarithms? First, you're given the logarithmic form, which means you're given an equation with log. We want to rewrite it in exponential form. And then we're going to find the missing value. So let's take a look at an example. Let's start by writing this logarithmic form in exponential form. We're looking for the value of x. In exponential form, the base is 4, the exponent is x, and that equals the value of 64. So in order to figure out the value of x, we want to rewrite 64 out of base 4. 4 to the third power is the same thing as 64. Now, if you're not sure how to do that, you can just go in your calculator and you can just test them out. So 4 to the first power is 4, 4 to the second power is 16, 4 to the third power is 64, and so forth. So you can just play on your calculator until you figure out what exponent will give you the value. So here we found out that 64 is the same thing as 4 to the third power, and therefore x is equal to 3. Which means when we evaluate log base 4 of 64, that equals 3. Next example. Again, we're going to set it up equal to x. We're going to write it in exponential form. 9 to the x power equals 9. And 9 to the first power equals 9. So we know that x has to equal 1. Log base 4 of 256. Solving for x. Rewrite it in exponential. 4 to the x power equals 256. So you can make your list of exponents with base 4. 4 to the third power, we said earlier, was 64. 4 to the fourth power, just pop that into your calculator, or you could do it in your head, equals 256. So if we know that 256 is the same thing as 4 base 4, then x has to equal 4. Okay, so this one looks a little bit different. We're still looking for x. Notice here you don't see the base. Remember that when you don't see the base, that's actually a base of 10. So rewritten in exponential form is 10 to the x power equals 100. And we know that 100 is the same thing as 10 squared. Therefore, x has to equal 2. So now let's take a look at another example with a log of base 10. You know it's base 10 because you don't see the base right here. When you have a log of base 10, you can actually just use your calculator. So if you notice on your graphing calculator, the log button is right here. You'll push the log button, type in the number, and you don't necessarily have to close the parentheses. I would, and then hit enter. So the log of 15 is approximately, so I would use the approximately symbol instead of the equal sign, 1.176. So it's an irrational number, so it'll have a really long decimal, and you just round it off. In this case, I rounded to the nearest thousandths. And again, this works for logs with base 10. Thanks for watching. Bye.